Marcus is 32, makes $95,000 a year as a software engineer in Columbus, and by every measure, he's doing exactly what he's supposed to. Stable job, modest apartment 45 minutes outside the city, a practical 5-year-old Honda Accord that runs just fine. He's not broke, but money never seems to stick around. Then there's Sarah. Same age, same income, same career track, different zip code. She lives 2 miles from her office, drives 10 minutes to work, and at 31, she's got $320,000 in invested assets. Both of these people are doing everything right on the surface. Both work, both save, both drive sensible cars. But there's an invisible line between them that nobody ever talks about. And it determines whether your paycheck becomes wealth or whether it just evaporates. If you're someone living with a long commute, thinking it's just the price of financial stability, subscribe and like this video. What you're about to learn will change how you see that drive to work. Here's the thing nobody says out loud. We've normalized the 45-minute commute. We talk about it like it's inevitable, like everyone just has to do it. Oh, you have a 1-hour commute? People say, nodding sympathetically. That's just how it is these days. But that's not math. That's mythology. The real enemy isn't the car payment. It's the story we tell ourselves about what's reasonable. A long commute feels normal because everyone's doing it. The social proof makes it invisible. You're not wasting 2 hours a day. You're just doing what everyone else does. You're not burning money on gas, insurance, and depreciation. You're just being responsible and finding affordable housing. Except here's the twist. You're paying for that affordable housing with much more than your monthly rent. The trap isn't the used car, it's the commute. And the used car is just how we finance it. Let's look at Marcus's actual numbers, because this is where the psychology becomes mathematics. Marcus drives 45 minutes each way. That's 90 minutes daily, or 7.5 hours per week. Over a 50-week working year, he's spending 375 hours a year inside a car. That's 9.5 full work weeks sitting in traffic. His Honda Accord was $18,000 when he bought it 5 years ago. It cost him $3,600 in year one depreciation alone. But here's what Marcus doesn't track. The operating costs. Gas, insurance, maintenance, registration. The IRS estimates total driving costs at about 58 cents per mile. If Marcus drives 30 miles round trip daily, that's $17.40 per day, just in direct costs, times 250 working days, $4,350 per year. But that's not the real cost. That's just what hits his checking account. The silent killer is opportunity cost. Those 375 hours each year. If Marcus makes $95,000 annually, he's earning roughly $46 per hour. So 375 hours of commuting represents $17,250 in wages he could be earning, investing, or sleeping. That's not a bill. That's invisible wealth leaking out of his life. Add it together. $4,350 in direct costs plus $17,250 in lost wage value equals $21,600 per year that Marcus's commute is costing him. Over a decade, that's $216,000. Now, here's the part that breaks the financial independence math. If Marcus had invested that $21,600 every year into an index fund earning 8% annually, after 10 years, he'd have accumulated $295,000. Not from getting a raise, not from working harder, just from not commuting. Meanwhile, Sarah lives 2 miles away. Her drive is 10 minutes. That same Honda would cost her roughly $1,500 per year to operate. Her commute time, 50 minutes per week. Over 50 weeks, 2,500 minutes or 42 hours. At her hourly rate, that's roughly $1,932 in opportunity cost. Total, around $3,400 per year. The delta between Marcus and Sarah isn't about how much they earn. It's not about discipline or budgeting. It's not even really about the car. It's about the commute moving from something everyone does to something that costs a down payment on a house every 10 years. And here's the thing nobody talks about. Marcus is going to keep driving that used Honda for another 15 years. So is Sarah, but Sarah will have built $400,000 in invested wealth by the time Marcus realizes what happened. He'll still own a car that depreciates. She'll own assets that compound. This is where the story changes. Most people think the problem is the car. Get a cheaper car, buy used, drive it into the ground. And yes, those are all good ideas, but they miss the real trap. The trap isn't owning a car, the trap is the commute. You can drive the most reliable, lowest depreciation vehicle in the world. You can pay cash for it and keep it for 20 years. But if you're spending 90 minutes a day getting to work, you're still losing $17,000 a year to invisible costs. Over 30 years compounding at 8%, that's north of $1 million in wealth that never gets built. That's not a lifestyle choice. That's a wealth decision made for you by geography. And the cruel part? Most people can't see it. The commute is so normal, so embedded in how everyone lives, that changing it feels impossible. You can't move. Housing is expensive in the city. Your job doesn't pay more if you live closer. So you rationalize. You tell yourself you're being smart by living where rent is cheaper and driving further. You tell yourself the used car is just fine. But every single day, you're paying $86 to sit in that car. So how do you break out? First framework. Reverse the rent calculation. Most people look at housing in the city and say it's unaffordable. Rent is $800 more per month. That feels impossible. But when you factor in the true cost of a long commute, $21,600 per year, or $1,800 per month, suddenly that extra $800 in rent becomes a wash. You're actually getting ahead. The real estate market is already pricing in this reality. Close-in neighborhoods are expensive for a reason. The people living there aren't making more money than you. They're just not wasting $1,800 a month sitting in traffic. Second, test the math before you move. Don't just assume. Calculate your current commute cost using the formula. Daily driving miles times 58 cents plus commute hours times your hourly wage. Do it honestly. Then calculate what a shorter commute would cost. See the gap. Most people skip this step, which is why they never see what's happening. Third, start small if you can't move. If relocating isn't possible right now, look for intermediate moves. A job closer to home. A hybrid schedule that cuts commute days from 5 to 3. A roommate situation that lets you afford closer housing. Every 15 minutes you cut from your daily commute is worth $3,000 a year. That's real money. The math is unforgiving. A 45-minute commute costs you roughly $300,000 in compounded wealth over a career. A 10-minute commute costs you $30,000. The difference isn't about hard work or discipline. It's about where you choose to live relative to where you work. Marcus is still driving that Honda, still sitting in traffic, still wondering where his money goes. But somewhere in Columbus or in any city, there's someone making the same salary who moved 2 miles closer to work 5 years ago. They bought a similar used car. They drive it the same way. But that one decision, that zip code, has already put them ahead by $108,000. In 20 years, it'll be $500,000. The used car trap isn't about the car. It's about the distance. The path to wealth isn't about finding the perfect vehicle or the best car insurance or driving less aggressively. It's about understanding that geography is destiny. Where you live relative to where you work is one of the highest leverage financial decisions you'll ever make. And it's also one of the most invisible. Most people never run the numbers. They just accept the commute as normal, the car is necessary, and the money is spent. But now you know better. Every mile adds up. Every minute compounds. The next time you hear someone complain about not having enough money to invest, don't judge. Ask them how long their commute is. I guarantee the answer will explain everything. Comment below with your round trip commute time. I'm curious how many of you have run the actual numbers.